Hey, what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to another video. Vice Admiral Buddy here, just talking about One Piece once again. Just want to say thank you for clicking on to the video. Today, we're going to be talking about the market. It's seeing some weird movement. Not anything too crazy like we haven't already seen happen before, but it's definitely not what I was expecting this soon. But before we get into that, just want to say hit that like and subscribe button if you see something you like here today. I'm trying to build a community here of people that we can all just come together and talk about things that we agree on, disagree on, and just kind of see where that goes, man. Uh, can't really say what this channel is going to be 100% yet. It's just kind of going with the flow, doing whatever feels right. But yeah, thank you. Comment down below if you have anything you want to see me talk about or any questions at all. I can't say I'll know the answer to everything, but hey, I'm always happy to talk. Shit, you might teach me something I didn't even know. But yeah, getting into the video. Pretty much just wanted to talk about how on my app I noticed that a lot of cards, random cards, are going up in value very quickly. Obviously buyouts for whatever reason. Um, Looking at booster boxes, they actually haven't really. I mean, they're moving like 5%. I mean, that's like normal growth, normal, very normal over 6 months. Obviously, we've seen some highs and some lows and some equaling out. I'd say this is one of the more noticeable ones. OP13 box dropping below 500. Seems to be stabilizing near 500 though. I personally wouldn't buy that. I personally wouldn't buy any of these boxes. Now, does that mean that they're not going to be good long term? No, I'm not saying that at all. I just think opportunity cost is a very important thing to take into account. And I don't feel like there's the risk is not worth it to me. In my position, if you have a lot of capital that you can just throw, like so much capital to where you really can't go wrong because you're always going to have enough to play these quick games, then obviously, yeah, go for it. But personally, no, I would not put my money into these boxes right now. I think they're very high. If you want to talk about an old, like, the easiest way you can look at this is just, okay, what is the oldest box that is the cheapest box? Okay. It really is that simple. One Piece has so many good sets. People will sit there and say set is bad because there is nothing worse. There could very easily be way worse stuff out there. These sets are not that bad. Actually really good. Look at Perfect Order, for example, or look at Guardians Rising, or go look at what's another one? Battle Styles isn't even that bad. But looking back at like Pokemon, for example. I only bring up Pokemon because it's been here for 30 years. There's so many sets that I'm drawing a blank, but like Scarlet and Violet base set. It's okay. It's alright. But people called it trash. But in comparison, if you go back further and then you look at like I said, Guardians Rising, Crimson Invasion, um Sword and Shield base set. Okay, look at how that goes from Sword and Shield base, Scarlet and Violet base, Mega Evolution base. It continuously gets better. The art's always going to get better. So looking backwards, it's easily said that, oh wow, OPOH trash. But if you look at OPO8, easy segue. This card is now $300, is what you would think if you just quickly glanced at it. But the lowest list is actually $600 when we change the condition to near mint. This is the only listing. It's at $600. Look at the manga. The manga is $600. Like, what? And this is steady. Like, this is actual real healthy growth. I personally, there's no way in hell this makes sense. It just doesn't. The manga is 3 times harder to pull. Sure, it's Rayleigh. I get it. It's not Luffy. But I can't even lie. In person, this card is. I love the art. The card is not $600. It's just not. And I love. I hate pirates, but I love this card. Texture just didn't do it for me. That's why I didn't buy it at 40. Do I feel a little goofy? Yeah. Of course I feel a little goofy. That's a brutal chart. But yeah, I mainly wanted to bring up these treasure rares though. Like the Zoro's getting bought out. Lowest list is 330 question mark. You have the Nami. This is probably getting bought out too. I mean, if those two are getting bought out, there's no way in hell this isn't getting bought out as well. Yeah, 300 lowest list. So we went up $100 because of a buyout of 15 copies. But that's what I'm saying. 15 copies is all it took to push us up $100. And then you look, 4 copies is all it takes. What? 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah, 5 copies and you're at 400. 2 copies and you're at 5. Like, One Piece has, I'm not going to say there's short amount of cards, but you have to think if the demand were to double any given day, with social media, it's completely possible. And I'm not shilling. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm just saying, think about it. If social media can really change people's perception of these things and really hammer in the fact that this stuff is rare, these cards could double, triple, quadruple overnight. And all it takes is a couple people with $100,000 thinking, I agree, right? That's what you have to worry about. And all the pirates in your local area, at your Targets, your Walmarts, they've been doing it. They haven't stopped. I don't know about you, but I can't find anything. We don't have enough Marines out here to deal with these pirates that have been scavenging all of the shelves. Is what it is. They don't call it the worst generation for no reason. But I've seen a lot of older pirates out there, actually. A lot of old pirates camping, lining up, attacking the civilians. Need I say more? Moving on. Seems like not all the treasure rares are being affected. That Zoro's up 150. I think it should be a little bit higher. I think I ain't gonna lie. This Zoro is definitely way better than that Zoro. I don't care. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think OP15 Zoro is better than OP09's treasure rare Zoro? I don't know. Peach Momoko, I think this card is also gonna pump way higher one day. Peach Momoko, if you know, you know. Goated artist. But moving on, the SPs have seen not too drastic of growth, if we're being completely honest. The ones that are notable are like EBO2s, because I mean they are actually extremely rare. I believe it's 1 in 300 cases. That would be that would be scary. 1 in 300 cases, but 1 in 300 booster boxes to hit this Luffy. I'm not sure if I'm right on that, but I'm pretty sure it's up there. Any given SP, right? Any of these golden, texted leaders that are extremely boring to look at, but they are indeed rare. I don't know about you, but I would rather say this market price was true. I mean, even this one at 3,000. Like, I would rather have 3 silver Luffys than buy 1 gold texted special boring leader with shiny texture. Very boring. So many good SPs to be buying. Would I buy any of these? Probably not. Besides these two. These two are obviously the best. If there's a card investment, it's these two. 100%. Same with the mangas. Gear 5 Luffy. Or the Shanks from OP01. Those are actual decent card investments. Non-risky, okay? I'm not shitting on anything else. I'm just saying I'm trying to stay low risk. I don't want to take a chance and ruin anyone's fucking life because it's very easy to go into debt and ruin your life, okay? So if you have the money, if you have the play money, and 10K isn't anything to you, maybe look into some of this stuff. Looking at a lot of the SPs, not a whole lot of change. Everything's pretty much the same. OP15 prices have kind of went upside down. The Boa being the most expensive and the Nami falling once a Zeus, but you know what I mean. This Luffy dropped down $150, right back up. More than it was at a pre-release, I do believe. It's weird. We're seeing a lot of weird growth. Not normal, but understandable. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is justified? Do you think these cards are undervalued or overvalued? Because that's what it really comes down to. I got offered this card 2 weeks ago at 120. Or it was a month ago. About a month ago now. At 120. It's a great card, man. I should have picked it up. He literally, it was the end of a card show. He was like, you know what, 120, cash right now. You walk away. Can't lie, I do regret not taking that. But moving on. Other things I've seen is promos moving. Definitely a bit quick. You got to think for every single pullable card, the promos, the older you get, the more scarce. Which leads me into this. This is the most insane push I've ever seen. This chart is something to be studied. Right. Past 3 months, $40, right? Oh, $40 to 180? That's crazy, right? This was a $2 card. This was a $2 card a year ago. You could have bought any number of these, and we are at 180. We are at 190. This is insanity. This is the shit that what are they called? Pokemon, the Prizzy boys, the Prizzy fanboys. They talk about generational wealth. If you had 100 of these, this is generational wealth. Just think about that. 10 of that is 1,800. You made 20K. You could have made 20K off of this, dude. And there was not a short amount of them. There was a decent bit of them out there. They just didn't sell. Nobody cared about them. It's insanity. Moving on to the illustration promo, we got Boa moving all the way back up, way past her all-time high from 6 months ago, which was $40. I sold 2 of them. You could buy this card back a year ago. If you go back even a little bit further, which you can't go back too much further, they had just came out. But you could have bought this for $2, $3, nothing. Now, compared to this, not very good chart, but you got to look at this. Gen Con 2023. Okay. This came out 2025? No, 2024, I believe. At the end of 2024. Might be a little wrong. It might have been the beginning of 2025, but you've got about a year and a half on this guy, right? And we're seeing just about the same chart. I mean, a bit more drastic. This is questionable. Questionable chart. I don't know what's going on with this, man. I really don't. In person, this card is decent. It's just this One Piece card game has texture, and then there's just like very boring beaded texture, not really anything crazy. But then you look at the Boa. This is like the best Boa card we've ever got, not to mention it's Peach Momoko. Okay. Goated artist, alright. I don't even like these horny ass cards. But if I sat here and said the art isn't awesome, isn't fire, I'd be lying. I'm always going to keep one. I have 8 of these. Always going to keep one. Just because we got to, man. And then the Nami, seeing just about the same pricing finally. This is something I was always curious about. Its all-time high was $40 for the longest. Nah, I'm misspeaking horribly. The all-time high was half of the $40, which didn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't sell these. This was obviously the better card over the two, I would say. The pinwheel texture in the background is awesome. You can kind of see it on the scan. But these are obviously some of the best promos we've ever gotten, hands down. Personally, I would not sell them. I sold 2 because I wanted the Divine Departure, and I didn't have the money to buy that, the OP13 Divine Departure, because it looked really good next to the other Divine Departure from OP10. So I really wanted that, and I traded my two boas because seeing this card get all the way up to $40 in like a day is what it felt like. It felt like literally a day. It was just up. I mean, I hadn't checked it in a while, but I remembered it being $3, so I had to. That wasn't a bad deal. I basically picked up the Divine Departure, poolable. Okay, we're talking about promos to poolables. Would I trade promos to poolables? You know, cards out of packs. It's actually not a bad play. But at the moment, we're seeing promos being actually decently rare compared to, well, I don't know. OP16 is supposedly short printed, so anything I say on that matter, it's really unknown at this point. Personally, no, I would not trade these anymore. I think these are at a point now where we are in price discovery mode. These could really hit any number. Those boxes were sitting on shelves, no one cared. It's crazy to see how far we've come. The fact that the box was 20 bucks all day, and you could have bought one, and one of these promos would have paid threefold of that. And the packs were not really anything too crazy. I think there was one pack of OP9 though. That's what made people actually want to buy these boxes. The other box, on the other hand, the Yamato is at $15. Not a lot of movement, but I don't know. One day we might see her back in the anime. I don't read the manga, so I can't say whether or not if we're gonna be getting see more of her. The other one, not even worth pulling up. I couldn't even tell your name. I think your name's like Maria or something. Decent card. No neck, no chin. I don't care about that card at all. But I'm just mainly talking about these illustration promos because we're now seeing this law. I actually just finished picking up 60 of these because this card is actually amazing. Out of the illustration box 5 and 6, I think this is the best one. So I put my money where my mouth is. I make more money now than I used to a year ago because of some health related issues. I can finally work and do everything I want to do for the most part within reason. So I've been moving a lot of my money into these, but not at this price. I was moving it at this price. When these promos are this low, and I'm only saying this stuff because I don't have very many viewers, so I know that my words aren't going to travel very far. I can be honest and say this type of stuff. If I ever get traction, will I stop? I don't know. Honestly, I'll probably always talk about the things that I know are good, but I don't care to personally jump into. But this was something I was doing at card shows. People were literally giving them to me for like $1. So I felt like it was a no-brainer. These people have been gambling like fiends in my local area. Clearly a buyout, right? This was the Mayhem sale, I do believe, is when a lot of these cards jumped up as high as they did. Yeah, I mean, if you look at 28, jumped up. But if you look at this, there's been steady buyouts of this the whole time. People obviously believe in these. I'd say these two are very obviously believed in cards. They never stop being bought. Now we have 17 listings. Eventually the people that have them and want them are going to have them. And any new people, which there will be, a plethora of new people to jump into the hobby wanting this type of stuff, they're going to have to pay these high prices. They just weren't here. So if you're ever curious about jumping into One Piece, which if you're this far into the video, I can't imagine you're not, hit that subscribe button if you made it this far, man. That shows that you actually care. And leave a comment down below. What's your favorite character from One Piece? Personally, it's always going to be this guy. But if we're being honest, if we're picking like a, that, I feel like that's not a fair choice. I've been kind of leaning towards, it used to be Law. But I don't know. It's between Sanji and Law, I would say, even though Bandai be torching my boy. They've ruined his character. Everybody hates Sanji, but that's good. Honestly, I don't mind that. I like when people aren't all fiending over my favorite character, because then the cards are cheap. If you look at every Sanji card besides SPs, they're pretty damn low. So I'm happy with that. Besides this is wild, but it makes sense. I've always wanted this a lot. It's like he's serving you the win. I don't know. That's some dorky shit. But yeah, pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Just the market's moving in some weird ways, and this is how it started last time. So don't be surprised if we jump into another boom, but it's going to be some things that we are not necessarily expecting or ready for. So I would hold off on selling. Maybe those promos, if you have a lot, if you've got more than 10, maybe sell a couple. Can anybody really blame you? You could easily take it to a card shop and probably get like 50 bucks out of each of those promos, those Namis and Boas. You could roll that and do some other SPs. It's not a bad play. It's really not a bad play at all. I would say something from, where is it at? OP09 maybe. Those are starting to get old, and I thought we were going to be getting a reprint, but it seems they're not going to do that. Very questionable play, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know. A lot of these SPs are already out of orbit, in my opinion. If I had 10 of each of those promos though, I'd probably dump it into these. I don't know. I feel like that's not a bad play. I mean, we're down 5%, whoop-de-doo. We're up 30%, up 400% on the year. If you bought down here, you're a genius. This was the most obvious play out of OP9. I still stand on that over this ugly ass Nami card. But yeah. My opinions are always going to be different than everybody else's in this hobby because I just don't care about the hive mind. I'm obviously not blind. I can tell you right away that, yeah, some of these are going to perform very well. That's why I brought up those promos. But keep your eye out for these cheap promo cards, cheap pullables. Below 5-10 bucks. If they're a big card, big character, it's probably a no-brainer. That's how I've managed to make it this far in this hobby, so. Thanks for watching. We're going to go ahead and cut it loose just because we've been talking for too long, and now I'm just rambling. So, till next time, thanks again.